On this edition of Ken Dixon's Audio Archive, you're going to hear the Janglers interviewed on WIDR in Kalamazoo, Michigan, February 3rd, 1993. Janglers are near and dear to my heart. Many of you will know that I issued their albums and CDs, and as I traipsed the world doing my straight job, I'd put them in shops and on consignment and spread the word. Got them a European distribution deal. It was incredible to walk into record stores all over Europe and see bins for the Janglers alongside the James Gang, another Cleveland great band. So anyhow, enjoy this interview with Eric Meany and Jason White of the Janglers, again recorded February 3rd, 1993.
Anyway, right now we have the Janglers live in the WIDR studios. We're going to do an interview with them, so check it out here on WIDR-FM.
Hi, I'm Tom Bloom. I'm here with Brian and a few members, Eric Meany and Jason White.
That's me.
From the Janglers. They'll be playing at Rick's tonight, and you're listening to 89.1 WIDR-FM, and they're in here for, what, just one night at Rick's, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And are you going to be playing Ann Arbor, or did you already play Ann Arbor?
No, we're not playing Ann Arbor this time.
Okay, so it was just East Lansing last night,
Yeah,
and
right.
Kalamazoo.
Incidentally, we're playing, it's like, we call this the Little Rick's Cafe Tour because Eric and I are doing an acoustic show at Rick's Cafe in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah?
No
relation. Any relation to that?
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Okay, for those of you who haven't heard of the Janglers, they're out of Cleveland, and I guess a good way to describe them, came out of the Cleveland Plain Dealer, so they're a mix of Southern rock, 60s pop, jazz, funk, blues, and New Orleans boogie. So do you guys think that that kind of sums it up for the band, or did you want to add anything?
That pretty much says most of it, I'd say.
We throw a few 90s rhythms in there, too.
Yeah.
It's not, we're not the typical,
So yeah, 60s pop is the one
You don't think you go along with there?
maybe like 60s rock.
How did each of you guys all come from similar backgrounds as far as musical influences, or do you think that each of you brought a different aspect?
We've each kind of brought different things to the band.
Yeah, it's
I think Eric, I don't know, basically you come from sort of a hip hop kind of background, and then you got into the New Orleans thing. Eric plays piano with a lot of New Orleans, barrel house kind of style.
Dr. John.
We've got a straight. Our drummer played in straight country bands for a long time before, and then our guitar player is kind of more from a sort of a jazz background.
He'd rather just play guitar with Michael Stern all day.
Right.
He had his drum.
Yeah.
Now, what's the other band members' names?
Jack Silverman is the lead guitar player. Will Douglas is the drummer. Glenn Brady is the bass player.
I want to say hi to Jack. He's back at the hotel.
Back at the hotel.
Weather.
Oh yeah. Now, also, I guess I was reading in the bio. They said that Jack didn't start playing guitar until what, like 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, something. Well,
He started when he was about 21 or 22.
so that was a little more than 7-8 years
So that was
ago.
about 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
But he was a late bloomer in a sense because, he didn't pick it up till he was in college. And he really put himself to it.
All right, now he throws down the fast, furious rock riffs. I love
These are
these
tremendous
styles.
players.
That's
And the
article
soulful
saying.
blues.
He does have his own style though. Some of the runs he does and stuff is pretty creative. He's done a lot of he's studying and stuff.
Great. Well, why don't we get to a song on the album?
Sounds good.
Did you want to go with Way Out Yonder first off the new album?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, the album's called Circuit
Yeah,
Ride.
this is from our new CD release, Circuit Ride. This is a little country rock
Gospel
flavored number. There's a little treat at the end there with the street choir.
Right.
Why don't we
Just Jason and I.
we can talk about that after you listen. This is Way Out Yonder, and you're listening to the Janglers on 89.1 WIDR-FM.
You're listening to WIDR-FM live in the studios with the Janglers. Holy cow. Here we go.
Yeah, like you said, we are here live in the studio with the Janglers. They're playing tonight at Rick's American Cafe. And right now, why don't we take the third caller for a free pair of tickets to see the Janglers tonight. And the number is 387-6303 or 387-6304. And in the meantime, how would you guys describe your live shows? Are they pretty much album oriented, or do you guys go off and jam a bit
It's
more?
they're a little more jam oriented than the records would indicate. We have a lot of guitar solos.
Yeah. I'd say we've been concentrating more on keeping the show moving too. Like, you know, keeping segueing songs together and just keeping the show moving, keeping people dancing. And
Very
stuff.
danceable, very,
Kind of
you know,
leading
a lot
one
of
song
jamming.
into another.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. Because, you know, we don't have like a big stage show per se. We play music. So
So you guys don't
We don't
come out
like
and
to- we don't like
drag
to-
or anything?
Yeah, we're pretty much one of those stand-up and play bands.
we'll
you know?
have to go girls at home this tour.
Yeah.
Dancing girls.
Cool. So that song was what, Way Out Yonder?
Yeah.
And I said that was a country influence.
Yeah, the country and the gospel influence. You know, we do a lot of different kind of stuff. It's not. I wouldn't say that song's typical of what we do. It's just one of our more popular show numbers, live numbers. You know.
Yeah, don't get too many impressions from that song. I mean, it's pretty eclectic, I'd say, the album. There's
Yeah.
different styles.
A lot of mix. We play a lot of like funkier stuff, and a lot of trippier stuff, and a lot of this, a lot of that.
Yeah,
you know.
like I noticed on Sweet Providence, a couple of the songs, kind of had that Van Morrison feel. I noticed there was a, what was it, track 4, My Way of Thinking was the country kind
Yeah.
of sound and tune. And I kind of liked how each song, was a different style. And I haven't really had a chance to listen to the new album very much, but
It's pretty much the same
It's
way.
the same kind of thing.
I would say that the new one is a little more, maybe a little more modern sounding, a little bit
True
more
to the live
upbeat.
performance, too,
Yeah.
than the first one was.
now did you guys do both? You did both these albums yourselves, right? Now, I was also reading in the old bio there that it says you guys are trying to build a following strictly on your own, independently, and then and then once you get to where you want to go, then labels really won't be able to ignore you.
Right. Well, we've been watching a lot of bands. There's a lot of bands, especially I call them the Capricorn bands. The bands that Widespread Panic, Blues Traveler, Phish, Spin Doctors, Colonel Bruce Hampton. Those bands. A lot of those guys played at the same. We're playing at a lot of the same places that we've been playing over the last few years, and they just started touring their butt off and
Yes,
developed this national
radio clean version.
Yeah, I was gonna say arse, yeah, but I can't say that on the radio. And, so they developed this huge following, and it got to the point where the record companies really couldn't look the other way any longer, And they did that through touring, and building up their own network, which is something that we've been doing for a long time, and we're really interested in, trying to keep ourselves independent, not slice up the pie with too many other people.
That'd be our advice to any band, I'd say, coming up and trying to do things, is to do as much as you can by yourself. The more you learn about the business, the more you can be sufficient on your own, the more it's going to help you out, and you're not going to be taken advantage of.
Don't get hooked
down
up
the
with
road.
no wheeler dealers.
Yeah, seriously, everything.
Yeah, I've heard of a lot of stories where they take them for a ride, they sign them on the dotted line, and take away all
Yeah,
their,
that's the thing. Yeah, like everyone thinks getting signed to a label is like the end of it all. It's
Right.
like, we're famous now. You can get dropped.
Take away
just
all
like
their
that,
artistic
You can get
Yeah.
dropped, and you can end up owing the record company money.
So the more self-sufficient
Shelf
you are,
you.
the better.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So do you guys get up to Kalamazoo a lot, or?
No, we really don't. This is our first time in probably about 3 years at least. We used to play at Club Soda. We played there 3 or 4 times several years ago. And
We were concentrating on the southeast and
Yeah.
stuff like that, down in Nashville and Tennessee and stuff. And
haven't been
now
up
we're
this way that
we're
much
starting-
lately.
now
So
we're
do you guys,
start coming up here?
Garnered a big following down south?
yeah, we got a pretty decent following in Kentucky and Tennessee.
And we've met some people in the music industry down in Nashville too that are on our site, and that helps too.
Yeah.
People, songwriting guilds and stuff like that.
If somebody wanted to pick up a copy of your disc, could they get it? Would they have to order it, or would they have to be able to?
Oh yes, they also have a special here.
We have our post office. You can write to our P.O. Box, P.O. Box 181070, Cleveland Heights, Ohio.
Write this down.
44118. I'm sure no one.
Yeah, and if you guys
down.
don't get that, you can call the radio
Yeah,
station.
you call the
and get
radio.
that.
Yeah, and
address.
we have a mailing list that lists all the cities and all the stores where we sell it. I don't know exactly where it's sold in Kalamazoo, but
I think it is sold up at the store.
I'm,
Your
I'm
records
pretty
or
sure
something?
it'll be in the records. They're usually in the college.
How do you guys
stores.
distribute your CD?
We do it through a guy in Cleveland, just an independent sort of distributor.
Yeah.
So is it just basically he distributes basically in the Midwest area, or is he
Basically, yeah.
He takes ads out in about 20 or 30 magazines too, though, like record collectors. So it goes all
Yeah, we
over.
do a lot of mail
We get
order
mail,
type stuff.
yeah, all over the country and stuff.
Cool, yeah, and I understand that you guys have played with Widespread Panic,
Uh-huh.
Blues Traveler, and Phish. Why don't you tell us what that was like?
Oh, it was great. It's funny. Out of all those bands, wow, I'm not going to knock these guys on the radio actually, but out of all those bands, my favorite, at least on record, was Widespread Panic. I thought those guys were really grooving. We did a show with them in Cleveland, and I don't know, I kind of fell asleep.
Oh, yeah?
But Phish is a trip. Those guys are just so wild. What struck me as really amazing about them is at the time we played with Phish, we were thinking, wow, we've really got to up our tempos a little bit, concentrate on making our stuff more danceable, so we can keep the crowds grooving. And then I went and saw Phish, man. They would go off in these wild, trippy directions, and the crowd was still like boogieing, And
Yeah, they just played down at the State Theater. It was a good show. Was that December it was, Brian?
December, November.
Yeah.
these guys are fabulous musicians.
And also like to remind you that we also have some more tickets to give away. So call up the station here, 387-6303 or 6304, and win yourself a pair of tickets for the Janglers. That's tonight at Rick's. Going on about, what, 10?
I think so, yeah. Come on down.
Should be a good show.
Get live with us.
And why don't we go into something off the new Circuit Ride album?
Okay.
How about Your Turn to Burn?
That sounds good. Actually, that's on the
Oh,
first
that's
one.
on Sweet Providence,
Yeah.
right? That's off the first one.
Let's hear that one.
Okay, this is a song called Your Turn to Burn, and it's off the Janglers album, Sweet Providence. It's their first album put out. When did you guys put this out?
1988.
88?
Yep.
So take a listen and enjoy. And you've been listening to the Janglers here live in the studio. This is 89.1 WIDR-FM. See you at the show.